Hey everybody. A lot of you have asked me how my hair is doing since my early November hair transplant that I had. Well, this is what I look like 2 months post-op. Right now, the hair follicles are just resting, and they're going to start coming out within the next few months. And then about a year after the operation, I'll have a nice, full, natural-looking head of hair. So I found a top-notch hair transplant surgeon named Dr. Bauman. He specializes in the FUE transplantation, that's follicular unit extraction, which is a minimally invasive procedure. After the surgery, I interviewed Dr. Bauman because I wanted to go into depth for you guys, just for whoever might be interested in what a hair transplant is like. If this doesn't suit you, feel free to pass it along to somebody else who you think might be interested in it. And that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody, and enjoy. Okay, for those of you guys who don't know, I just had a hair transplant yesterday with Dr. Bauman of Boca Raton, Florida, and I gotta say, I have never been happier. This was the most painless, simple procedure. This was really a lot of fun. You didn't tell me how fun it actually would be.
Yeah, we have a good time, Greg.
It really was. It was very relaxed. You know, they completely numbed my head, so I didn't feel anything that was going on. We did a live chat, you know,
right,
while we were on, and all the techs that you have working with you. You had a team of what? How many people were working with?
We had 6 people working on you, including everybody.
That's great. So 6 people. Everybody was very friendly. We hung out. We talked. Watched a couple of movies, and now I've gone from being a balding guy to having an extra. How many grafts did we do?
We did 3,378.
3,378 grafts. Now, I had mentioned...
That's over the 2 days.
Over 2 days. Now, I had mentioned that I had had a hair transplant procedure before. It was maybe 10 years ago. I had 1,600 grafts back then.
Now, wait, how many people watched?
Nobody watched that one. Nobody watched that one.
You know, we had over 13,000 people watching you.
So does that make my hair transplant procedure the most viewed hair transplant procedure online ever?
The most viewed live hair transplant online.
So now I am a hair transplant celebrity. I don't know.
You're in the history books for sure.
But it's interesting that we broadcast it live, because the whole thing about me doing this was the main reason I wanted to get the hair transplant was because of my on-camera career as an actor, and I also write and direct my own stuff, but I need to look good on camera. I think, you know, the viewing public would be surprised as to how many celebrities have either had procedures or they're wearing weaves, or what are the other types of things that celebrities do and just people in the public eye do to make their hair look better?
Well, there's all sorts of good hair restoration options for people out there who are thinning. And unfortunately, probably most people are familiar with the bad-looking ones. But as you know, being in the industry, there's cosmetic camouflage, there's powders and sprays. A good-looking hairpiece can be undetectable. Even a good-looking bald cap, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Somebody, right? Now, obviously, the people that come to see me and ask me for advice, those are the people out there who want to restore their own living and growing hair. And of course, obviously, that's what we do best.
You know, the thing that really appealed to me about getting a hair transplant was that it's something that I wouldn't have to really deal with on a daily basis, like putting on sprays or powders or doing some sort of a hair weave or anything like that. This is something that is permanent. It's my own hair that we've taken from the back of my head, where it's really thick. Tell me about why hairs from the back of the head hang on and stay with you for years, whereas you lose the hairs on the front and the top of your head.
This is a common question, Greg. People want to know, well, why is a hair transplant permanent? And those follicles in the back and the sides of the scalp, those follicles are immune to the male pattern of hair loss. So they don't know where they are once they've been transplanted, and so they remain immune to the process of hair loss.
Those follicles are so stupid. Don't tell them. Shh. Don't tell them we've moved them, and we'll be just fine. Okay, so let's talk about how my old style procedure that I had 10 years ago, where they actually made an incision in the back of my head to remove a whole section of hair, how that differs from this FUE NeoGraft procedure, which frankly I had never heard about until you made a video with Kevin Nolte, and I was blown away by the idea that you could get a hair transplant without that incision. It's a big deal.
Yeah, this is a big deal, and we've come a long way in extracting hair follicles from the scalp. I mean, 10 years ago, you had the linear harvest or strip harvest, and then stitches right after, and had to deal with a healing process, that was probably weeks long to get that area back to normal.
It was an unpleasant healing process. The first few days especially, I remember I couldn't sleep at all. It was just really unpleasant and uncomfortable. This, I gotta say, for the last 2 nights since we had this, I slept like a baby, and I wasn't expecting that. But I mean, I literally slept like a baby. I was naked and I was curled up and I had a bottle. I mean, it was weird. I don't know if that was really what I was supposed to do.